Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the first edition of Where I Went Wrong 2023. Yeah, so in this video, I'll be doing where I went wrong for UFC Vegas 67 Strickland versus Imavov. So let me say it again, Strickland versus Imavov. And how I feel about this one, well, where I went wrong with this one, or my record for this card was 7-4, 7-11. Probably really was going to be 12 fights, but somebody fell out, I think, with Eubanks because she couldn't make weight or something, having weight cutting issues. But yeah, so this is 11 fights, and I went 7-4, 7-11. Not bad. And essentially, that's pretty, like, I don't know, that's the average among good cappers, I guess. Like, the average among good cappers, like 61, 62, 63%. So with 0.63, that's pretty solid, if that's going to be your year-in thing. But it's definitely not that exceptional start you want, but this, all in all, it's like a start I can't feel bad about. I feel good about the start. I don't feel great. I would want it to be like a spectacular, like, boom, I come in and everything just like that. Flush come in 8-12 or 9-12 or 9-11 or 10-11 or whatnot, or just flat out come in and just burst in and hit perfect or something to start the year. But it is what it is. Like, and there's plenty of intel together. And I feel like also the L's I took on this card weren't like too bad, to be honest. I think 3 of the 4 L's were low confidence. So I knew how much of a toss they could be and how the fights could be so volatile. So it wasn't like a case of like fights that, for the most part, that weren't, oh my gosh, it was a shocker, I was so wrong, or why did I do this? Why did I do that? Why was this lock? It wasn't the case. So I'm just gonna get to the 4 L's and yeah, just wrap this video up or get to the point basically. So what was the first L? I think the first L was, low confidence, Ribeiro to beat Al Hassan. So yeah, first fight, Razak Al Hassan versus Al Hassan versus Claudio Ribeiro. And I went with the younger fighter who versus the guy who like 37 and Al Hassan and whatnot. Knew it was a very low confident fight because not like Ribeiro's just like super high IQ fighter. Neither is Al Hassan, but let's just get to the point. What happened in this fight was, like I said, it was low confident fight. 2 guys that just swing and bang. Al Hassan had never won a fight beyond the first round in his career. So yeah, it was a lot of things like I wasn't really liking him. Age, lack of game planning, but all that being said, this fight, he came out there with seemingly a game plan, more so than I have seen from Al Hassan ever. So at 37, he's starting to put it together. I'm still not going to have like, oh, this guy going to do this guy going to do that. But he'll probably extend his career probably 3 more years and pick up some more wins and like stuff. And hey, he's the best he's ever been. So good for him. So that simple thing, just little touch up, like trying to work in the clinch more, allowed him to get Ribeiro's hand down more, have Ribeiro expecting more grappling, and then like leave him open for shots. So just that simple little adjustment, the simple little adjustment to add a little bit of a fight IQ, a hint of a fight IQ, a hint of a game plan was enough to shift the narrative of that fight and put him away. But I was liking what Ribeiro was doing, but the clinch, just the addition of that clinch shifted the momentum and allowed Al Hassan to get him out. And also, he didn't go out there just swinging for the fences. He picked the shots well. He didn't go out there, like I said, just throwing caution to win and just swinging. Like I said, he was getting struck out at first, but mixing that clinch and putting like wearing on his arms and then like I said, getting him to think about something else allowed him to really get the shots off. And when he did get them off, it still wasn't wild. Even when he hurt him, he picked the shots well. So he's picking the shots better. He's trying to work in the grappling or mixing in there. And now he's got a game plan that makes him a much more dangerous fighter than just a guy who just was out there swinging and banging. So good on him. He got a win. And all in all, I can't feel bad about that. But it's something to, take note of. Like, he pulled an audible in his career, like at 37. So it's something to take note of going into his next fight, like depending on who they match him with. Ribeiro, I ain't gonna feel too bad about his losses. He fought probably one of the heaviest hitters in the weight class. And like, still a lot of intel to gather about him. But definitely see like a person who maybe has that style to be able to clinch against the cage can cause issues for him, especially guys that can mix in the takedown as well and get that. But again, I feel like there's more intel gathered on Al Hassan, and probably also depending on how they jump him up, could be some value to gain that probably would have not been there if he didn't win this fight in the way he did. So maybe picking against him, like, well, intel to be gathered from that fight for sure. And again, I say more so on Al Hassan's side. Like Ribeiro's side, I don't really say too much just yet. Obviously, said he could be finished. He has been finished, but given who he fought, like that man landing clean on anybody, he could put him out. So like, I don't really say his chin's bad. I don't say that. I say that. Really, the biggest factor to take away from that fight is that Al Hassan is starting to at least fight with some semblance of a game plan, some semblance of a fight IQ. That he wasn't there for the large majority of his career. Even though the skills were already there, as far as in the cage, the game plan and the IQ was not there. All right, now to the second fight. What was the second L? The second L was, I'm not even going to do this in order. I think it was Punli Soriano versus Roman Kopylov. I'm with low confidence there. I know Soriano had a higher potential as far as in career, and he was having at least from the start of their careers in the UFC, he was having more success and projected to be this, projected to be that. But it seemed like his career is now just starting to plateau, and it's not really going the way he wants to go. Like, he got to win over a guy who's like, just about as a give me win that you can get right now in the division if he's not already cut. And outside of that, he had not been looking super great. And also, like, he's just been looking like a headhunter, like a one-dimensional headhunter. He had wrestling more so defensively and just looking for those big head hunting shots and looking to use his power. So he hadn't been looking super exceptional. Kopylov, like, he had always had the skills, but he just struggled to get a win. But now that he got a win, now he got some confidence. Right into this one, he was able to put his skills all together. And also, again, he's going to a guy who's not really looking to mix it up with him, just looking to stalk and throw big shots and just exploiting that against him and just use his arsenal. Like, another reason why I was low confident, because it's not because Punli Soriano got taken down multiple times by Maximov. He wasn't going to worry about takedowns against this dude, against Kopylov, because Kopylov not a guy that really goes for a lot of takedowns, and it's not like he's that great of a wrestler. If anything, Punli Soriano will win a wrestling battle, so that wasn't an issue. I think the biggest fight that you could probably look at that would have caused issue, which was caused me some issue why it was low confidence, was the Brendan Allen fight, in which he ended up looking like one of those fights where a guy just trying to stalk a guy down and can't cut him off, can't really land his shots flush like he looked against Brendan Allen. And I knew Kopylov could do something similar, and actually he did it better because he put him away. But so Kopylov looking better. Like, I feel like in the past he had some cardio issues, he had some confidence issues, but now that he got a win, and like now he got 2 wins and a stoppage win, I feel like the confidence come along. Will he be a stud in the division? I don't think so, but I think he'll be able to stick around, pick some wins up, maybe another like minor upset or something. But I don't think no big upsets. I think there's still a lot of ways and paths to beat him, but he's definitely looking the best he's ever looked. So, again, another fight I wasn't super confident. I was low confident in, and just intel together. I definitely think it'll be a lot of money to pick against Soriano going forward, depending on how they factor him. But I feel like anybody decent, anybody decent going in there against him at minus 300, I feel like it's good money against him. That's all I'm gonna say. If they try to make it like minus 200 or pick him, I'm picking against like him, like with quickness, because I just feel like Soriano's like kind of trending down right now, and I'm not saying the evolution. Like, yes, he has the power, but the technique's not there. And yeah, I'm just saying, like, Soriano like looking like a wounded duck right now, a wounded animal, and there's definitely value to pick against both of those guys going forward. Good win for Kopylov, but also good value to pick against them going forward, depending on how they match up. And I would definitely be keeping my eye on both of them going forward, because like I said, they looking like seemingly against anybody decent, easy money, is almost saying. That's what they looking like. They looking like easy money. So then my third low confidence pick was Pennington versus Caitlin Vieira. And literally, Raquel Pennington versus Caitlin Vieira, women's bantamweight division. And all I'm gonna say about this one, this fight played out just almost as I expected it to play out. Again, one of those real close fights, sloppy in a sense, and a lot of clinching, and just like one of those boring, you forget about it the next day type fight. So like, it could have went either way, split decision type fight. One woman won, but like nobody really truly lost. I mean, yeah. In reality, especially in this weight class right now, where it's only like so many people that's good in this weight class. You lose, like, you don't really fall too far behind. Like, you lose, like, because again, also Nunes has pretty much beat everybody in this weight class, including Pennington, who just won. So the fact that Caitlin Vieira hasn't fought Nunes probably have her actually closer to a title shot than Pennington, who just beat her by a split decision. So all it takes is Caitlin Vieira probably getting a sneaking one win on over. I mean, not one. Well, getting like 1 or 2 more wins and she get a title shot. Whereas Pennington might need to put 3 more wins to get a title shot. Like, they probably just overstep her, to be honest. Like, it happened. Like, especially given how she lost that fight to Nunes, like that, nobody really won in that fight again. But yeah, division so worn down, just from the fact of not a whole lot of new, fresh faces, and also for the fact that Nunes has beaten the faces that are there, the good people that are in the weight class for the most part, outside of maybe like 1 or 2 women, and who even them would like not looking like the most promising threat to Nunes at all. So yeah, it is what it is. So that's what I'm gonna say for that fight. Then the fourth and final fight. This was the fight that I did have high confidence in, as far as the fight I did lose or the prediction that did go wrong. And like I said, it was a high confidence. I picked Imavov, so Nasruddin Imavov, or Sean Strickland versus Nasruddin Imavov in the main event at a light heavyweight bout, because Strickland couldn't, was coming on short notice, couldn't make the weight, so they just changed it to light heavyweight. And with this one, I feel like Imavov definitely showed that his cardio is not like as terrible as people trying to say it was. He went 5 rounds pretty good, but Strickland was just better, simply better. And Strickland, he made an audible as well. Like, I would say like Al Hassan made an audible as far as his style. I feel like Strickland made an audible as far as his style. Like, he made a, coming into this fight with a different mindset, he has to make an adjustment. A lot of people try to go into different fights and say, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and they go in there, they're the same exact fighter they were 20 other fights prior. Like, they come in doing the same exact thing, making the same exact mistakes, making the same exact strengths, like, no real adjustment to the game. Strickland, I'm not going to say his game changed so much. He still was pretty much a boxer. I mean, largely a boxer, tried to do some more teeps out there, some more front kicks out there, and tried to do some more, he tried to add in overhands and, fight at a higher pace than he usually fights at, whereas he fighted kind of like a little bit laid back pace. He tried to be aggressive. And coming off the couch or whatnot, he still was able to go 5 rounds hard. Like, the man's always in, I guess, fight or sparring shape, because he's always just on the ready, probably live in the gym all the time. One of those guys, like, you go in there on any given day, he's probably in there ready to spar. Like, he loves it, he lives it. And like I said, he came in there good. He got his hand raised, and good win for Strickland. And like I said, good adjustment. Like, he went out, if he probably would have had it fought like in the laid back style he fought in the last fight and other fights, he probably could have lost, or the fight could have been closer, maybe a split decision. But the fact that he did come in with that aggression, even if all those like sloppy kind of power shots weren't landing, the fact that it was there, it was giving Imavov something to think about. And when they did land, it didn't make Imavov have to adjust or for a time. So, like I said, throwing in there, it wasn't just about, who landed the most shots. It also was the fact about Strickland was the one really engaging more constant and being aggressive. Also, he still did outland him too. So he was being more aggressive, he was landing more, and he was mixing in power shots, not just the same kind of, insignificant strikes he usually throws for the most part. So he picked up his significant strike rate, picked up his aggression, made a good adjustment. Like, so as far as on my side, as far as where we're on with Imavov here, I feel like with this one, I took too much of the variables in this one. Like, guy coming on short notice, how often do those guys really win? Especially when like skill is relatively even, or the guy you're stepping in on short notice is better or perceived to be better. Like, the odds people usually win those fights are very, very low. So that was one thing. Strickland, like, yes, he was just coming off a fresh fight, but then he said he wasn't really super training hard, or wasn't really super. He just kind of like literally was just eating Doritos on the couch, like probably still sparring and stuff, but he definitely had a lot of weight to come back up on him. So it was like, it was a couple factors. I know Imavov had the cardio question. I feel like even in the loss, I feel like he addressed it pretty well. But as far as Strickland came in, he was just a better striker. He was a more active fighter, and that experience definitely helped, like having been in these big fights. So the experience helped, and I think he was game for Imavov. It was just able to outpace him, outland him, and show he wanted it more. I feel like Imavov could look back at this fight and look at adjustments. I think maybe 2-3 years down the line, he wins this fight, even by stoppage. But it's definitely stuff I saw from Imavov I liked, regardless of the loss. But simply on the night, Strickland was better. And those variables I was like, that led me to push that to high confidence, weren't as big as I thought they would, or at least against, as far as who Strickland is. Like, he's one of those guys that really kind of dip off, or that style really needs them to be in the tip-top shape, maybe. But Strickland has a style where he don't have to necessarily be in his very best shape to use his style effectively, or fight to his style, or fight to his strengths effectively. So that kind of overthrow a lot of those variables. But nonetheless, it ain't a thing where I say, it was such a terrible prediction given everything, but nonetheless, a wrong prediction. But as far as going forward, like, that's where I feel like the main focus now is going forward. I think Imavov's value probably going to drop, but I think it's going to be a good drop as far as you're going to lean to him, because his value probably going to drop, but his level of competition he's going to fight probably going to drop probably for the next 2 fights. So probably really going to give him some easy money fights at a discount value, because he did lose his fight to Strickland. And probably people are not going to watch the fight and say, just write the narrative in their head like, Imavov probably came on pretty good early, and then this faded, and Strickland probably just walked him down and beat him up. Like, that's probably what happened. But in reality, he was game the whole fight, literally the whole fight game, and giving it back to Strickland. I think in the last round was the round he had most activity in the last round, and probably slightly won that round. So cardio ain't his biggest issue. So if people's big concern is his cardio, then that, going forward, especially going down and fighting lesser competition at a discounted rate, because again, he lost his fight right here, and people are like saying, he probably ain't this, he probably ain't that. And unless him still being like a 27-year-old guy, value's gonna be very good on Imavov going forward, unless they try to just do a spin and Rooney and then still give him a better competition. They're like, oh, to be considered. But lesser competition at a discount rate, that's gonna be good money there. Strickland probably, get a discount on his opponent, because even though he won this fight, he looked good right here. I still don't think Strickland's gonna be, he's gonna be in the same exact position he is. He don't go on there and elevate and truly deserve a title shot. He might just win a title shot just because it's nobody available, or Irwin because no one's available, or Steppen because no one's really available. But I don't really think Strickland's like truly like wipe out everybody out and truly be the number one contender type talent. Like, I feel like he is who he is. He made no adjustment, but Oliveira would still probably stop him in one round. Adesanya probably stop him in like 3 rounds. Whitaker could potentially stop him. Definitely put on a dominant performance against him. But nonetheless, matter of fact, division, like, it's still people he could pretty much beat. He could beat a lot of guys in this division still regardless. Like, still beat large majority of the people in the division. Like, Paulo Costa could be a toss-up potentially, but then again, Costa got the power. So that could be bad. And he does got the hooks. And Strickland does have his hands down open for the hook. So Paulo Costa, and with his strength and whatnot. I don't know. I think, yeah, Costa probably beats him for the most part. Costa definitely probably beats him. Vittori, toss-up fight for sure. But nonetheless, I don't think he's that guy that's going to be this premier, truly wiper about Division 1, number 1 guy. He's not. Especially when Adesanya still will probably, if he don't beat Pereira in a rematch, still will probably be number 1 contender. So he definitely not beating the number 1 guy. Definitely not probably beating the number 2 guy, who would be Whitaker. So, but again, the fact that he won this fight probably going to up his value, which is going to allow you to get his opponent, if he's one of those guys that I do perceive that could beat him, or dominate him, or should beat him like 99 times out of 100, then you can get a great value on him, or a better value on him. But yeah, nonetheless, I ain't too mad about it. I ain't too mad about that one. Good win for Strickland. Good win for Strickland. But all in all, in the grand scheme of things, I don't feel it adjusts much. It keeps Strickland in the game, and it gives you a better value on Imavov going forward if they do give him lower competition. But nonetheless, good win for Strickland again. I would say good win, good adjustment for Al Hassan. That's the person who impressed me the most as far as like actual adjustment within himself. I would say Al Hassan, because he fought and like had been perceived as this guy, just this wild berserker for the most part, and had been fighting like that. And at 37 to make adjustments, that's a pretty big feat. And like, this is a fight that should have probably retired him or kicked him out of the UFC, but he made adjustments. He went in there confident. He go in there like he wasn't confident. He went in there full confident, made adjustment, and did it pretty solid. Even when the fight wasn't super comfortable for him, getting his leg blasted up, getting tagged with some big power shots, stayed composed, never lost his cool, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, like everything was clicking, clicking in the gym, clicking the cage, and no easy feat. And to do it and to come off and get the desired result, very impressive. So, but nonetheless, still looking at him as a guy that's probably going to be to get his future opponents at a discounted rate because of it, that adjustment. Like, the guy's still 37, so another guy I could definitely see his win actually, a loss and a win for the other guy, a loss for me, a win for the other guy, but going forward, giving me a bigger win down the line, because the guy who won at this given time is now going to be received at a better value. But still, you look at the intangibles, the guy's still 37. Still, a lot of those things are still within him. He's fighting smarter, but this guy's going to be a truly elevating the division and be a problem? Probably not. Still going to be probably, at best, an inconsistent talent that's pushing the 40 mark. So then put him with a true stud or guy that's truly can actually elevate the weight class, and then maybe even end up in a dog to this guy just because he has this physique and this power and this athleticism. But again, 37, and he is where he is because of who he is, not because, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, what I'm trying to say is, the reason he's not further up in the ranking, like, it's not because of, bad shape. You just weren't that guy. You still probably aren't that guy, but you were able to stick around. But definitely some money to be made picking against you going forward. No insult, it's just the game. But yeah. So this wrap this. I said flap. Just to wrap this video up, went 7-4, 7-11 with like 63% rate of win rate or win lose rate, or yeah, solid enough, but going to look to do better as always. And if I did 10 out of 10, 11 out of 11, going to look to try to repeat it or try to get some 11 out of 11 with 11 perfects. So you can always do better and can always be more accurate. Like I said, even if you got all those things, I could pick the millisecond even better. So this got to be better. Pretty, I say, decent average card, but looking to do stellar, looking to do spectacular. And that's the video. I don't know, I probably said it, but let me give an actual outro. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.